Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the top 12 things I don't buy anymore because I have a 3D printer. Let's get to it. Number one, tripod plates. I never buy tripod plates at all anymore. I lose these all the time. They end up missing. I make my own. I design them in OpenSCAD and I use a 1/4-20 threaded screw, put it right through the middle. Here are some of the random tripod plates I've printed. I model my 501 plate. This is my original. It's metal. I start by basically making the base, do some cutouts. This one I did a screw hole cutout instead of a slot. This one has no cutout. I can also, and this is the final, sorry. This printing did not turn out great for my bed adhesion, need the bed level. But here you can see where you can just keep building on these and get a good model to turn out exactly like what you have in the real world. I also model GoPro mounts to these to fit different tripods that I have laying around. So tripod plates, that's a huge one. These get lost all the time. They get lost, you just print another one. I also 3D print any kind of bracket. This is number 2. Any kind of bracket to hold things together. I print often are any types of brackets or hooks. It's so easy to model these up in OpenSCAD and come up with something really quick. These I spend a little more time on, countersinking screw holes. Let me show you an example of where I use stuff like this. Here's another example of brackets made. These hold our Xbox type guitars down here in the man cave. Number 3 is hooks. Garage organization, any kind of hooks, things you want to hang on the wall. I have a giant paint stick that I use to paint my house with every so often. It extends really tall. I use 3D printed hooks to hold that up high in the garage to get it out of the way so we're not tripping over it. Number 4 is sink drain strainers. That's hard to say if you say it several times, which I have already. But my kids are always messing with the sink. They lose the sink drain piece all the time. So I just print these little strainers and put them in place, and I'll never repair that drain again. I'll just print another piece and put it back in if they lose that. So easy fix. Number 5 is all kinds of custom covers. I use all kinds of crazy power supplies and things around this house for projects. It's probably kind of dangerous to leave them exposed, so I print these custom covers. One example of a custom power supply cover. It just slips right over the end of this power supply that powers the LED lights that are above here. That covers up to prevent anybody getting shocked. Here's another one that's on a 3D printer power supply. Same type of situation we have here, just covers up the ends so nobody can get a little shock from it. And this one incorporated power switch on off, which I may do on the other one eventually, but I haven't done it yet. Number 6 is a thing I love, and that's battery covers. House full of 6 kids, they're always losing remote battery covers or other battery covers from their toys or whatever. Here's one that we use a lot. We remake battery door covers and get those those doors get lost all the time. It's real easy to mock one up and just print it out. Number 7 is cable management. I'm a nerd. I have cables everywhere. So I print these little cable management pieces and I try to tuck things in a little neater to make my wife happier so the house isn't a mess. This is going to be a little dark and difficult to see, but cable management type devices. This keeps all the cables off the floor. Not necessarily so neat in my situation, but a nice little raceway to run those through. And here's another example to keep them a little bit neater on the desk or the workshop bench. Another thing I do is custom loudspeaker parts. That's number 8, custom loudspeaker parts. I'm kind of an audio nerd when it comes to speakers, and I like to experiment, build new things. So I'll 3D print little plates for tweeters you know, things like that. Plates for L pads. Have a lot of fun doing that. Custom loudspeaker parts. Here's one that's really, really unique. Custom loudspeaker parts. I'm going to do a video on how I modeled this sometime, but the goal is I'm going to replace the tweeters in my monitors. These are old paper cone ones. With these I've had forever, these Mylar tweeters. I mean, this is the end result. These fit in here and they will mount on the front of this speaker and kind of protrude that tweeter out a little. That's what I'm going for on this. But this took me a while to model. I'm still learning OpenSCAD, but it was a lot of fun. This is one of the things I enjoy, is modeling special parts like this. Obviously, with the YouTube channel, I have a lot of things floating around for cameras all the time. So number 9 is going to be a lens cap, hoods, and all kinds of filter adapters. I'm printing a filter adapter right now for one of my SJ4000 cameras. That way I could put 52mm filters on it, do polarizers, ND filters, whatever, to get a little more creative with my videos. Another thing I do is I do a lot of custom camera pieces, lens caps, body covers. These are filter adapters, step-up rings, GoPro accessories. You can replace these GoPro pieces fairly easy. So much you can do with a camera with these on these. What are normally little plastic parts you have to buy, you can just model these up yourself. Many of them are already made out on Thingiverse, so you can go out and look, but I like to mess around and model things and see if I can improve them. But yeah, lots of camera stuff. Number 10 is pegboard items. I make pegboard hooks, pegboard plier holders, pegboard scissor holders, anything to organize Pop's Coffee Shop down here. I print those out. A lot of is pegboard items. You can print these to hold your tools, flip them around any way you want, custom design things. There's a lot of this available on Thingiverse also, if you want to go out and check it out. 3D printed tools. I have all kinds of 3D printed tools around here, from knives to scrapers, all kinds of tools. Anytime I need a new tool, especially if it's small, I'm going to go and try to make that tool first. For example, I have a project coming up where I'm going to need to cut some circles in some wood. I'm going to 3D print a circle router jig. I'll make a video about that one later too. Another thing I do a lot of are 3D printed tools. This is a wire stripper, it's just a knife. I have craft knives, scraper. I'm designing a router circle jig at the moment to cut round holes, like for loudspeaker type stuff is an example. So that's all kinds of tools. You can print all kinds of tools. You just, you know, imagination. And if you break one of them, you print another one in no time. The last one is toilet paper. I know that's kind of a joke, but you can make a 3D printed bidet. This would be great for camping or some emergency situation. You will be able to drastically at least reduce your toilet paper if you decide to go that route, if you're brave enough to go that route. And last but not least, toilet paper. That's kind of a joke, kind of not. This is a camping bidet. You fill this with water, give it a squeeze, and it showers out. I have another video on this, actually, if you're interested in looking into this. But just ingenious solutions that people come up with. This one's not mine. I downloaded this off Thingiverse. You know, you're limited by your imagination, and this one, awesome design. And bonus item, I also print hard drive cases that I use to back up some of my devices. I usually, yes, I do buy this USB connection, but the case is printed. I'm going to do one of these every once in a while with new ideas that I do to try to print things. You know, survival type stuff is kind of exciting. I think the kids kind of get into that. So look for those videos to come. More of these to come. Let me know if you like these or not. I love this. I think this is so cool to show how to do functional, practical 3D printing in everyday life. That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.